This this one may go on for a while, but yeah, I think it needs to be said. So, Trump is very stupid. Trump is incredibly stupid. Trump's the kind of man who came out recently and said water is wet. That in itself is an insult, given that at least 15 people have died in the last few days because of the storm. That's an insult. The fact that he denies almost 3,000 people dying in Puerto Rico because of his failure is repulsive and should be remembered. Not only as Trump, but by the Republican Party. That should be remembered. But Trump's the kind of idiot who doubles down on his moronity. Not entirely sure that's a word, but I think that fits. So it surprises me that in 2018, September 2018, I still talk to people who support Donald Trump. I ask them why. Now, there's probably a couple of people out there who support him because they're as disgusting as he is. The man has 19 active sexual assault charges against him right now. So these charges went before a judge, and the judge said, you know what, there's actually credible evidence that this really happened. We're going to push forward with this. That's not overall. That's 19 right now. Trump's actions have been absolutely repulsive. Separating families at the border is disgusting. Taking $10 million from FEMA just before storm season hits and giving it to ICE, who have a long list of disgusting reports coming out. Now these reports all tie into the families that they're separating, saying that these children are being abused, not just chemically with being drugged up so they don't cry as much as I've reported in the past, but we have reports coming out that these children are being abused. There is rape happening in these detainment camps. And yet ICE gets an extra 10 million. Of course, this is after we find out that the companies running these camps have contracts for the next 4 years. So this isn't stopping anytime soon. And ICE doesn't just go after illegal immigrants in the most disgusting way possible, but they go after legitimate asylum seekers, which Jeff Sessions has pretty much stuck the kibosh on, and they go after legal immigrants. A man in New York, picked up by ICE. He had been a US citizen for a year, but it doesn't matter because he wasn't white, and that is what Trump cares about. Trump's a very stupid man. Water, wet. Doesn't understand why Roy Moore lost the Alabama election. I mean, Roy Moore tried to force himself onto minors. There's another word we use for that. We call people like that pedophiles. But Donald Trump doesn't understand why Roy lost. And to his credit, he didn't lose because he lost the Republican vote. He lost because more people turned up and voted Democrat. That really shows you all you need to know about the Republican Party at this point, doesn't it? But it's not just Trump. It's everyone he's surrounded with. And finding out that his tweets are actually checked before he sends them out, or at least some of them, that is monumentally repulsive. People have been complaining for a while now that they can't get another job after they've left the Trump administration. Good. You shouldn't be able to get another job. You've aligned yourself with such a deplorable human being. This is the fallout. Your political career, done. Because you aligned yourself with a disgusting human being. But here's the thing, when Trump gets impeached, which I still think will happen before this year is out, Might be wrong, we'll see. But when Trump gets impeached, Mike Pence will take over. The difference between Pence and Trump is that Pence can think. And that's it. So these policies won't change. Children will still be separated at the border. The Environmental Protection Agency still won't be funded. All the scientists that have left the White House won't come back because Mike Pence holds the same values as Donald Trump, because Trump holds the same values as the Republican Party. Trump is so stupid that with this Mueller investigation, he wants the information publicly released, and non-redacted, which means he wants the entire world to not only see this information, but he wants the entire world to know exactly how the government bodies got this information. He wants to expose American assets and how America gathers intelligence. Vladimir Putin murders journalists who speak out against him. What the hell do you think he's going to do when he finds out that there's an American spy down the road? But that's the kind of moron Trump is. And yet people still defend him. People still support him. People still buy into all of his bullshit. It would take 20 seconds to fact check just one of Trump's lies. Just one. You can pick any of them. He's told enough of them. I think in August he told over 200 lies. That's something pretty fucking disgusting. Unfortunately, we expect politicians to lie. But there is no accountability for it. And you have a ton of weak, pathetic Democrats like Dianne Feinstein, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, fucking Chuck Schumer, who cave and do everything that Republicans want them to do. So when will it end? Donald Trump is not fit to be president. And at this point, I've said it before, but at this point, if you still support Donald Trump, there is something wrong with you. There is something fundamentally rotten about who you are as a human being. Now, I get it, people get lied to, people fall for cons all the time. But at this point, there's no excuse. At this point, with all this fake news, you should have actually been able to do a little bit of the research yourself and figure out, oh no, actually, all this negativity about Donald Trump isn't fake news, it's just reporting on what's actually happening. The man is vile. Unfortunately, his replacement will be vile as well because his administration is disgusting. And is just as disgusting as Trump has ever been.